Xipe Totec. One of the oldest and most widely worshipped of the ancient Mesoamerican deities, was also among the most formidable, almost always portraited in a heavy coat of crude human skin. Hello, this episode in the Aztec God Names series will translate and explain the meaning of Xipe Totec, as well as a few other nicknames associated with this god of sacrifice, spring, and smithing. Before we go further, a content warning that this video will discuss graphic ritual violence with artistic portrayals of flayed human skin. If it's not your thing, I recommend my video on Huichol shamanism instead. We will begin with Xipe, the first and most distinguishing part of his name. One of the first lessons I received in modern Huasteca Nahuatl had each student holding an orange fruit. Pulling her curled fingers apart, the teacher said "Xipewa," indicating to peel it. As I tore off the sticky green skin, I recalled other names built around the root for peel, such as the Mexica festival of Tlacachipewalistli, the flaying of people, and the deity Xipe himself. The orange's sweet, tender flesh lay exposed from beneath its rent skin. I then ate it, slice by slice. The root sheep means peel, as in the verb xipewa, to peel something. Linguistic consensus holds that the name comes from Xipetl, a noun for something that is peeled, in this case a being getting flayed. Why then did the tl suffix disappear? I found the answer in Carochi's 1645 grammar. Horacio Carochi explained how certain nouns could drop the suffix for absolutive cases when the subject in question is anomalous, in some way mutilated or incomplete. One of his examples is for a bleary-eyed person, expected to be said Ixcuitlatl, but having nullified the suffix, is instead pronounced Ixcuitla. Another example is someone blind in one eye, Ixpatzak, which doesn't pronounce the expected tli suffix. This is a rare case for Nahuatl nouns called the flaw form. In the present instance, a xipetl, someone who has been flayed, is missing their skin, and thus qualifies this noun case. This condition lets us drop the tl suffix to pronounce the name xipe. A suffix reappears when the noun is pluralized. When the Mexica Aztecs recounted their old rituals, they spoke of people who were skinned in the plural, xipeme, following the grammar rules from my episode on Nahuatl noun suffixes. The noun root for lord is tegu, as in the unpossessed form tegutli. This name is a possessed form with the to prefix indicating r. In such cases, the tegu often loses the rounding on the final consonant ku, so that it is pronounced teg instead. Totec means our Lord. Another name associated with Xipe was Totah, our father, using the same noun possession rules. An interesting aside on the name Totec is that it can be treated as a full noun stem before combining with the noun root Itztapal, referring to sedimentary flagstone. This was a special aspect of the god, who was then named Itztapal Totec, our Lord Flagstone. This form of the ancient god presided over the final count of 13 days, as the 260-day ritual calendar was concluding. Xipe was finally associated with other minerals, specifically precious metals. He was patron of smithing, notably to produce gold and silver. So likewise, the last moniker for this episode on the flayed god is related to a word for metal. We start with tlawitl, Nahuatl for the ochre mineral. Because its rusty hue made it a valuable paint dye, ochre became a source word for the color red. Many Nahuatl color terms originated from reduplicated noun roots, here tlau into tlatlau. It can then liken Xipe to a red mirror, tlatlauki Tezcatl, like a copper surface. His aspect of red mirror also reminds us of his relation with Tezcatl Hipoca, smoking mirror, the Aztec god of power. Here you can see the two deities in bands of red and black, respectively, presenting the gods of the red and smoking mirrors, copper and obsidian. Xipe Totec. He was a pervasive force in Aztec ritual and art, and his many names linked him to his roles for lordship, lapidaries, and laceration. Please like, share, and subscribe to the Eye of the Serpent channel for updates. Your Patreon support goes toward travel, research, and production. Thank you for watching, and good roads.